quick thank you to our sponsors for making this podcast possible. They keep this show free to listen to. Hey there, if you need a little help getting your kids all the daily vitamins they need, I've got something to share that will help you as we all head back to school, and it fits easily into your morning routine. Between packing lunches, ensuring everyone's homework, and then navigating the morning hustle, getting our kids to take their vitamins can be a challenge. Well, let me introduce you to my new morning lifesaver, Little Critters Gummy Vitamins. Even my teenage daughters love them. Most kids think they're having a special treat, but I know they get all the essential nutrients their growing bodies need. It's peace of mind for me and total yum for them, even if they don't admit it. Did you know Little Critters is the pediatrician recommended kids multivitamin gummy brand? It's true. And it's the perfect stress-free way to kick off the day. So why not make your mornings a little smoother? Shop Little Critters Gummy Vitamins now and start your school year off with a smile. Shop now at the link in the show notes. Thanks for joining me on the Peace in Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the Peace in Parenting podcast. I'm Michelle, and I'm so glad you're here. And I want to talk about this idea because it's summer in the US and in many parts of the world. I'm sorry, Australian folks. I know it's winter there, but I wanted to talk about this idea of I'm bored, and maybe this will help folks who have kids who are on vacation at any point. Our kids like to say, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. I can't find anything. I'm so bored. I'm bored, Mom, please. And I think we go into panic like, oh, I've got to entertain this child. I have to make sure they're not bored. I have to get them to stop whining about being bored. And we almost, I don't know for you guys, but for me, I go into this panic state like, uh-oh, I've done something wrong as a mom, or I'm leaving my child in this state of like, they have nothing to do. And I know what it feels like to be bored, and that's not fun. And then also I have a little bit of anger, like, you have all of these things. You have toys, you have activities, you have friends, you have the trampoline, you have the backyard, you have the front yard with your friends, you have your bike. Like, how could you be bored? And we probably go to this place of where we want to fix it, Well, you could play Monopoly with your sister, or you could go outside and ride your bike around the neighborhood, or do you want to help me do some cleaning in the kitchen? We offer many things to do. And most often kids rebel against that, right? No, I don't want to do that. No, I can't do that. I'm not helping you in the kitchen. Oh, everything's so boring. And in these moments, can we decide that it's not our responsibility to entertain our child? And that if we lean into accepting that piece, will they actually find something to do? Maybe not right away. Maybe it will take them some time. But if we give them enough time to lament and to be upset and to whine and complain, will they eventually get to a place where they can figure out what they want to do? And will this spark some creativity in them? Will this push them to use their creative juices? Will it push them to find out what they really want to do? And is this a good experience for a child to be bored? And is that good experience going to teach them a lesson about boredom, or a lesson about creativity, or a lesson about having to entertain themselves? And I think many of us might resort to, okay, well, you can just have some iPad time, or you can just watch TV, which, that's fine in many cases. And sometimes we need that as a way to have some quiet time for ourselves. But maybe there's some other times where we say, you know what? No, there won't be any electronics time right now. And will that make them really upset? You never let me do anything. I'm bored. I never have that electronics. You're so mean. And can we lean into the feelings around that too? I think where we fall into this trap of trying to fix it is that I don't think it's fixable on our end. I don't think we can ever give them anything to do that will probably work to make them feel better. And then what are we telling them? that you are responsible for their boredom and you are also responsible for their entertainment and that you are required to fix it every single time. Because if they come to you and you're giving them something to do and it does work, now what happens next time they're bored? Where are they going to go? Back to you to fix it for them. And are we raising resilient, self-reliant kids if they're having to come to you to fix their problems and boredom being one of them? And the summertime, I think, lends itself to having kids who often say they're bored because they're super overscheduled and overstimulated during the school year. You know, they go to school 6-7 hours a day. They come home, they have activities, they have homework. They barely have a moment. And so being bored can feel foreign and it can feel hard and it can feel wrong. But maybe it's okay to be bored. And maybe it's okay to do nothing on certain days. And maybe it's okay to wallow in your boredom in order to find creative ways to entertain yourself where you don't have to be entertained by other people and stimulating things. You can merely just find something to do within yourself. So when Pia was little, she came to me one afternoon and was carrying on. I'm so bored. I can't, there's nothing to do. I can't do anything. And maybe it was part of disconnection for her. I don't know. So I just leaned in with empathy. I understand you're bored. I know sometimes it's hard to find something to do. Hey there, if you need a little help getting your kids all the daily vitamins they need, I've got something to share that will help you as we all head back to school, and it fits easily into your morning routine. Between packing lunches, ensuring everyone's homework, and then navigating the morning hustle, getting our kids to take their vitamins can be a challenge. Well, let me introduce you to my new morning lifesaver, Lil Critters Gummy Vitamins. Even my teenage daughters love them. Most kids think they're having a special treat, but I know they get all the essential nutrients their growing bodies need. It's peace of mind for me and total yum for them, even if they don't admit it. Did you know Lil Critters is the pediatrician recommended kids multivitamin gummy brand? It's true. And it's the perfect stress-free way to kick off the day. So why not make your mornings a little smoother? Shop Lil Critters Gummy Vitamins now and start your school year off with a smile. Shop now at the link in the show notes. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/peace and get on your way to being your best self. How do you make sure you're coming to parenting with your best self? What's one part of your weekly routine you won't miss no matter what? For me in the past, and for sure now as the kids get older, it's therapy. Therapy's been a large part of my growth and transformation as a mom. And I owe so much of my own change to the work I've done over the years in therapy. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a really short questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Visit betterhelp.com/peace today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/peace. I kind of hate it on those days when I have nothing, don't you? And I just gave her empathy and understanding and tried to see things from her point of view that yes, she has been overscheduled all year and now kaboom, everything's done. And this is the day when we didn't have friends over. We didn't have anything planned. Her sister was busy doing something else. I was busy doing something else. And she was left to her own devices. And she felt a certain way about it. And it's okay for her to feel a certain way about it. And it's okay for her to struggle with boredom. And that struggle can be met with empathy. And when the struggle is met with empathy, does that create connection between she and I, where I'm saying, I see you, I hear you, I understand you. I'm not going to fix this for you, but I understand your struggle and I'm going to recognize it and be supportive around it. But I'm not going to fix it for you because I know you can fix it yourself. And is that something else we can say? I know you'll find something to do. I know you're going to find something fun and creative for you to do today. And she waxed on and on and on. I mean, it was like rolling around on the ground and like having a really hard time and whining incessantly. And then finally she said, I want to cook something. I want to cook something. I said, great. What do you want to cook? I want to cook a cake. Okay. You want to cook a cake? Okay. Let's figure out how we're going to do that. We found a recipe. She got it together. She got all the things out. I was in the kitchen. I was helping her, but I wasn't really. I was just kind of being supportive. I was helping her find the measuring cups, and that kid baked cakes all summer long. And that was her thing. And that became like something that became part of her. She really decided that she liked baking and that she liked cooking and that she liked doing things in the kitchen. And that's something that may not have come to her had I intervened and had I really told her all the things that she could do, or I gave her some, suggestions, or I tried to fix it for her, or I said, I'll play with you, or I said, I'll take you somewhere. I'll take you to the park. We can go do X, Y, and Z. Instead, it was hard because you have to listen to the feelings and you have to really lean in and you have to be okay with the whining and you have to be okay with, let me not say okay. You have to tolerate it, right? And you have to empathize with it and you have to recognize that there's a bigger picture and a more important message here that our children are learning. And a more important lesson is that they have it within themselves, within their own bodies and minds, they have it to fix their problems. And maybe this too will translate to other problems. Like you've learned grit, right? You've learned how to remedy a problem on your own. Now it's a small problem, right? It's a problem of boredom, but does that same neural pathway serve you when you have a friend problem or when you have a school problem or you have a problem with a sibling? And can you use that same grit and that same process to help you unravel other problems in your life and not feel as if you have to always get help from your parent? Sure, we can give our kids help. I'm not saying never help them. I'm just saying this is an opportunity to allow them to rely on themselves. And maybe it will create other opportunities where they can rely on themselves and that this is a muscle that they're exercising and learning and practicing. So I hope that's helpful for the summer. I know lots of kids come up with this idea. I'm bored, mom, dad, I'm bored. I'm so bored. And can you lean into, yeah, you are bored. And I know you're going to fix it, as opposed to all the things that will remedy the boredom, because that may not really be serving them in the right way. We're playing the long game, guys, right? We're not playing the short game. We don't want short, immediate gratification in parenting. We're really looking to build skills and we're looking to teach kids how to be self-reliant, because in the end, we want self-reliant kids who can take care of themselves without us. Because sooner than later, and I'll tell you what, I have Esme leaving for college in 2 months. They have to take care of themselves. And I'm, this summer, I'm really like, what skills does this kid need that she doesn't have that I can give her that can, that she can use moving forward in her life? And there aren't too many. I think she's doing pretty good, especially the life skills. She's doing good and those emotional skills too. And so that's where we want to get. We might as well start as young as we can so that we can give them lots of opportunity to practice. All right. Thanks for joining me on the Peace and Parenting podcast. I hope you get an opportunity to use this and your child says, I'm bored this summer, so you can use this idea of empathy to help them get to a way in which they can remedy their boredom on their own. All right. I hope to see you next time. A quick thank you to our sponsors for making this podcast possible. They keep this show free to listen to. Does connected parenting feel confusing? What do I do in this situation? How do I handle that issue? Let me help you make more sense of it all in my 30-day challenge. We meet for 4 weeks of group coaching, and you get access to all of the Peace and Parenting online materials, my entire Connected Parent Mastermind. Plus, we give you access to our school community. I help you get more connected and jumpstart your parenting in this 30-day challenge. So go to the show notes and sign up, and I'll see you there.